Indeed, Diddy Kong is in the house. What's going on, everybody? Hello. Hello, hello. How's everyone today? I hope I find you well, and I hope you're ready for a big new release Friday of the busy fall gaming season. For today is the premiere of Mafia Definitive Edition, which I hope is good. I never played it. I never played the original Mafia, so I don't know if the game's good or not. I only played Mafia 2 and 3. 2 was amazing. Like, I really liked Mafia 2 when I played it years ago. I thought it was perfectly paced, short and sweet. You know, the game's only between 10 to 15 hours long, but a great story, great gameplay. Everything was good about Mafia 2. Like, I really enjoyed the game a ton. And then I played Mafia 3, which I thought the main story was actually quite good. And it had many good epic kind of story moments and missions that were good. Problem was, Mafia 3, they tried to pad out to be an incredibly long game because they wanted to act like it was a modern AAA game. And when they did, they added about 20 to 30 hours of repetitive grinding side content that was not fun at all. And basically forced you to be bored in order to progress to the more fun story missions. So it was not a well-balanced or paced game, and I actually felt Mafia 2 was a far better game than Mafia 3. But I never played the game that started at all, Mafia 1. And now, today we begin Mafia Definitive Edition, a game that is basically a redesigning of the game from the ground up. The original developers said that they basically started from scratch with a whole new engine, rebuilding Mafia into a brand new game. Now, I don't know how long Mafia 1 is. I would assume it's probably around the same length as Mafia 2. Maybe I'm wrong. But I would think probably 10 to 15 hours, you know, maybe 3-4 streams to beat it. That's my guess. If it's shorter than that, I mean, I guess I won't be too disappointed as long as it's on par with the quality that Mafia 2 was, okay? So today we're going to find out as we start to play the game. FYI, Mafia Definitive Edition is $40, $39.99. Kind of funny that a lot of the new games I say, that have been coming out are all remasters, right? Just had Crysis remastered, which was an abomination of a terrible game. And now we got Mafia Definitive Edition. Everything old is new again, as they say. So this should be interesting. I'm curious to see how it goes. I hope that it's good. I hope you guys enjoy the playthrough. I'm going to be playing it for the very first time and giving my honest reactions to everything that happens in the game, as I always do. So, let's see what happens, okay? So that's the main stream today. Now, one big thing, all right? I have made a decision, a very important decision, okay? Today, I will not drink cherry juice for dinner. I'm kidding. That's not the decision. The decision is in regards to the Mafia Definitive Edition playthrough. I am just going to leave it as is. I am not going to change anything in regards to the audio, meaning I am not going to mute the soundtrack. I'm just going to let it play out. Now, I know the game has licensed music. A lot of people are saying it's old-time music. If this means that my playthrough on YouTube gets utterly fucking destroyed, I'm going to have to recommend people watch it here on Twitch if they can. Here's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping two things will happen. Number one, if the videos on YouTube get Content ID claimed, they only get Content ID claimed and then I lose the ad revenue. I don't want the videos to get muted. That would seriously be like the worst scenario where no one on YouTube can watch the playthrough because YouTube muted the videos. Okay, so I hope that doesn't happen. That's really the reason why I try to avoid using the licensed music in my playthroughs these days. It's not because of like, I'm not worried about copyright issues where, you know, I'm not going to get a copyright strike for it or anything like that. And I'm not really worried about the ad revenue either. I'm worried more about just people's accessibility to be able to watch the videos. You know, I don't want people to have to, how do you watch a video that's muted? You don't. You see? It's terrible. No one's going to watch a muted video. So I hope that's number one. I hope that doesn't happen. All right. Number two, I hope that those who are watching this playthrough on YouTube will support the playthrough in other means. Meaning, you know, coming to the stream and cheering, subbing, or tipping. tipping when the stream's even offline still works, or, hey, pledging to my Patreon. You know, these are all very valid ways that you can support my content and not have to worry about, well, Phil makes no ad revenue from this video because it got claimed because of the music, okay? So, that's what I'm going to do, all right? That is what I'm going to do. We're going to see what happens. Hopefully, we have 0 issues. Hopefully. Maybe I will have issues. I don't know. Hopefully, we have no issues here on Twitch with bullshit, you know, false claims. Hopefully, we have no issues on YouTube. We're going to see what happens, all right? And go from there, I guess. Fair enough? All right, let's see what happens. So that's today's main gameplay stream. Later tonight, the late stream will be my weekly throwback Street Fighter session. 2 hours of old school Street Fighter fun with Street Fighter 2, 3, and Alpha 3. Always a good time. Always a laggy time. But usually a pretty good time. Usually you guys enjoy it. I really enjoy it, doing it once a week. So I guess we'll see. Hopefully it's better than a couple weeks ago when I couldn't even get matches. Last week was much better. Okay, tomorrow it will be more Mafia Definitive Edition here on the main gameplay stream. And then tomorrow night it will be my weekly session of Fall Guys. Now, FYI, last time I played Fall Guys, I received a $200 tip at the end of the stream. And when that happened, I had announced that the top tipper was going to be able to name the outfit that they wanted me to wear in the next session of Fall Guys. No surprise, the person who did that tip didn't contact me at all. It's likely a fake tip, and likely it's going to be chargeback, I would think. So I'm actually going to go with the second place person, who was the second highest tip of the night. And that person said they wanted me to wear the hot dog outfit. So I'll be wearing the hot dog outfit tomorrow night when I play Fall Guys. Okay? Remember, top tipper when I play Fall Guys gets to choose the outfit I wear for the next Fall Guys stream. Alright, so that's tomorrow night. Then on Sunday, it is the big Rageathon event. A marathon event, alright, where we're going to be doing a variety of games that you guys have chosen. You guys have chosen the following games. Barbie Horse Adventures. No. You guys have chosen the following games. Hollow Knight. Jump King. The Quiet Man. Ooh. Street Fighter 5. And what the hell was the fifth one? Why can't... Oh, Celeste. That's right. Celeste. I know what some of these games are. I've played some of these games before. But other games, I don't know what the hell they are. I don't even know how they play. So, it'll be an interesting variety of games on Sunday. Okay? As a backup game, in case a game doesn't work for some reason, or if a game is just boring and you guys don't like it, we've got Blasphemous, which I already had, I believe. I think I already bought it. So I could just re-download it if I need to. So, during that segment, or during that segment, during that marathon, in addition to just me playing games to try to cause rage, I will also be doing something special. It'll be the return of the zombie Skittles. Alright? What does that mean? I'll tell you what it means. It means that I will have a pack of zombie Skittles with me. And for every $20 that I raise via tips, I will eat 3 of the zombie Skittles. Last time that I did this, it was disgusting. Because I ended up getting the rotten egg Skittle over and over. One time I got 2 in a fucking row. Which was really nasty. Let me tell you, when you got a rotten egg taste in your mouth, you want to get a good fruity taste in your mouth next to get rid of it. And when you get double rotten eggs, you want to vomit. It's really nasty, okay? So, that's how it's going to go. Some people are making fun of it. Well, guess what? If I did, let's say, for example, if I did, I'll eat 7 to 10 Skittles every $20. That means that I would be eating like 100 Skittles during the stream, and I would fucking have a, get sick. So that's why we're not doing it that way. Okay? So there you go. That's how it's going to go. Okay? That's going to be the stream. Hopefully, things go well. I don't get sick. And hopefully the games are entertaining to you guys for this very special Rageathon event. Okay? Then for Monday, we will either do more Mafia Definitive Edition, or we'll return to Super Mario Galaxy HD. I'm going to leave it in your hands, and likely I'll be asking you guys over the course of the Rageathon on Sunday, what would you like to see more? And whatever you guys want to see more will be the main gameplay stream for Monday. And then Monday night will be more Fire Emblem Three Houses. Now, hold on. Before you freak out, because I said that. Don't freak out. For those who don't know, because you maybe haven't been following the playthrough, like most of you, because I've noticed that no one's watching it. We're currently at chapter 18 of 22. Okay? 18 of 22. We're almost done with the game. We're getting there, alright? And in fact, I ended last night's Fire Emblem stream at the very end of chapter 18. All we need to do, okay? All we need to do is basically finish up a battle, and it's the end of a whole chapter, and then we could go right into the next month. And what I'm hoping is that moving forward, every single stream of Fire Emblem, we basically finish up most of a chapter. Because if that's the case, then we're going to finish up chapter 18 and get through 19, finish up chapter 19 and go through 20, 20, 21, 21, 22, see? Maybe 4 streams, 5 streams tops. It really depends on how long and drawn out the end of the game is, which I have no idea. Considering the entire game's been so effing drawn out, I would not be shocked if the ending is, like, insanely drawn out with, like, multiple battles and shit. So, maybe 4 to 5 more streams. But if the thing is, if I am playing it twice a week, like I'm planning on doing, okay, I may potentially finish Fire Emblem by around the middle of October. And that would be ideal. Because I, number one, do not want this game lingering anymore. It's been being played since May, June, July, August, September, and now heading into October. 6 fucking months I've been playing this game. Now, you might say, well, you don't play it a lot. Yeah, because basically, even though I enjoy it, I know that JRPGs aren't everyone's cup of tea, especially with my viewing audience. A large chunk of you guys, I would say the majority of you guys, don't like them. I like them, and we do have an audience for it. There are people who turn out for it every time, but it's not a large audience. So, and by the way, Fire Emblem was viewer's choice. So, you know, you guys nominated and voted on games, and this ended up being the game that won, which is why we're doing the playthrough anyway. I never would have even played the game if it wasn't for you guys asking for it. So it's cool now that I know what it is, especially because of the fact that the Fire Emblem characters are always fucking guest characters in Smash Brothers, and I never know who the fuck they are. So now at least I understand who some of the characters are. Okay. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm hoping we can finish up Fire Emblem in the next few weeks, because I also want to get it done before November. Why? Because number one, November is going to have an overload of games, right? Number two, November has the new console launches. And number three, we already have another lengthy RPG starting in November in Yakuza 7, Like a Dragon. So with that trifecta of reasons, that determines why I don't want to be having a lingering JRPG. I want to beat it. Okay? So let's see what happens. Hopefully we can beat this game sooner rather than later. Okay? Alright. Whew. Now, what else? Next week, it'll be a mix between Mafia Definitive Edition and Super Mario Galaxy HD on Wednesday and Thursday. Maybe we'll even beat Mafia by then. If the game is as short as Mafia 2 was, then maybe we'll actually wrap it up on Monday or Wednesday or Thursday next week. Okay? The night streams will probably be some Batman and probably more Fire Emblem. And then on Friday, so a week from today, it's a double new release day with the release of Crash Bandicoot 4 paired with the release of Star Wars Squadrons. Okay? I'm hoping they're both good games. I'm guessing Crash 4 will probably be a pretty good one. I don't know. I'm on the fence about Star Wars. All right? This Star Wars Squadrons game apparently is all like aerial combat. And I barely ever play a game like that. And I don't even know if it's going to hold my interest, you know? Like maybe the first session or two I'll find it interesting, but after that I'll be like, man, it's more flying and shit. You see, I don't know. I've played a couple flying games in the past, and they didn't really hold my interest. Even remember a couple of them that I played, I basically dropped. Now, that was a long time ago. So, I don't know. We'll see, I guess. We'll see what happens. What I'm hoping is that maybe we'll get a little bit more information about it, some reviews of it, before it comes out. Because right now, I 1,000,000% want to play Crash 4. Like, that's a lock. But the Star Wars game, I'm kind of skeptical about. Okay? I don't know if that's something I want to do or not. I don't know if it's something you guys are going to like. Okay? I guess we'll see. All right? And then October is a pretty dead month. I feel there are probably going to be a few minor releases during the course of the month. There's really nothing going on in October till around the end of October. Okay? So, because of that, what I'm hoping is they'll give us ample time to do things like finish up Super Mario Galaxy and to get all the stars. You know, if I need extra time for Mafia, maybe it'll give us opportunity to go back and do some of the stuff that I ended up missing out on. For example, the Outer Worlds had a DLC expansion, and I really liked Outer Worlds last year, but I'm so busy with other stuff I didn't have a chance to check it out. Okay? That's what I'm thinking. Also, isn't Fall Guys Season 2 supposed to come out in October? I think it is. So when Season 2 of that comes out, I'll definitely be playing more of Fall Guys for sure. Okay? Yes, Kate. The Dark Pictures Little Hope does come out in October. It comes out October 30th, the day before Halloween. In fact, a ton of stuff comes out at the end of the month. There's also Watch Dogs Legion, which obviously is one of the biggest releases of this gaming season. And that comes out the end of the month. Everything comes out the end of October. It's like the end of October is overload. So we'll have to see what happens, but it should be a fun month. It will be a fun month. I'm calling it right now. It's going to be a good one. Hopefully not every game is disappointing. Crash 4 I'm really looking forward to. So, okay. So that's kind of what's going on now. Now also, guys, please continue to nominate games for the upcoming Halloween Marathon event. On Halloween, I'll be doing a gaming marathon, much like the Rageathon on Sunday. All right? But I need you guys to nominate games. Now, the games you nominate do not have to be horror games, okay? But horror games are appreciated. I'd like to maybe do a couple horror things during the course of the Halloween event, even if I end up doing a lot of stuff that's not. Like, for example, I almost guarantee you people are going to want to see Fall Guys during the Halloween Marathon. There's probably going to be like a ton of Halloween costumes and shit in the game. So, definitely, you know, variety is key. So, please nominate games. How do you do that? Type !marathon into the stream chat right now. It will bring up the link by which you can nominate games over on my forums, thekingfate.com. And please do so. All right? You'll basically have about another 2 weeks. I'll leave that open until I finally close it off and we see what the biggest nominations were. Maybe we'll even have a poll. I'm not sure, but I'm going to use your nominations to determine what games I'll play during the Halloween event. All right? Now, in addition to that, I also need your input in regards to what kind of Halloween costume I am going to be wearing during the course of this Halloween event. Okay? Hold on. Oh, okay, good. Yes. I will need you guys to vote on the category costume that I will wear for the Halloween event. The categories are as follows. Okay? Get ready. You ready? Are you ready for the... Are you ready? Okay, here we go. Comic book character. Video game character. Classic Hollywood horror monster. Or, you know, killer. You know, anything horror related. Pop culture icon. Now, this is kind of a blanket category. This would cover things such as, like, celebrities, famous singers, actors, public figures, you know, but also content creators and internet personalities. All that stuff would be covered under the kind of pop culture icon category. It is a big blanket category, admittedly. Or wild card, in which case you're just saying we're going to put the power in Phil's hands. Let Phil choose a wacky or zany costume for Halloween. And in fact, last year, that's what you guys voted for, and I ended up dressing up as Yoshi, and you guys really liked the Yoshi costume. Okay? So, this year, I have no idea what I'm doing at all. It's going to be in your hands to vote on the category, all right? So that's why I'm happy you guys have been voting already. It gives a head start on that, because just right now, all the Halloween stores are starting to open up in this area. There's one at the local mall, and I think there's going to be another one opening up near me, too. So I'll have a couple places to look and see what they've got. And having some guidance on, you know, what to dress up as is key. When I'm starting to look for a costume, I start to brainstorm and have ideas, okay? So I'll probably be looking at that over the weekend and see what you guys have been voting for so far. Anyway, how do you vote? Type !costume into the stream chat. That'll bring up the link, or every 15 or 20 minutes, the links for those are going to auto-populate in the stream chat anyway, okay? So, yes, please vote, vote, and vote some more. All right, keep voting. Thank you for that. All right, outside of that, I don't have much else to talk about. The only thing I will say is this, okay? I've noticed recently an uptick in contributions on the streams. Sadly, I do feel that a lot of them are too good to be true. And what I mean by that is I've noticed there's people who I don't know who they are. They're not stream chatters. They come in and they're dropping tips. Like, who are you? I don't recognize you. No one recognizes you, right? Sometimes the tip comes in with zero information attached to it, right? That's not good, especially if it seems to be from someone who's like an unverified PayPal account. And you might say, well, why am I looking a gift horse in the mouth? Well, I'm really not trying to, okay? But the thing is, there's a lot of assholes who try to charge back, which is annoying, because when there's a chargeback, there's a giant arduous process of having to research and provide information to PayPal, sometimes going back and forth with PayPal about it, and it could take months sometimes to clear all that shit up. It could be. It's very frustrating to have to deal with chargebacks. So, I prefer to not have to deal with them. And if I get a big-ass contribution that comes in out of nowhere, all right, and there's no information attached to it at all. No, there's no name, there's no email address, there's no information whatsoever attached to it. I tend to be very skeptical about it these days. And in fact, the past few days, there have been a bunch of these tips that have come in that I have refunded. There was one live on stream yesterday that I refunded from a guy whose name was Pranks. I mean, duh, the guy's name is a prank. And we never don't know who the fuck this guy is. Yeah, I'm really sure this is going to be legit, right? So, it sucks because, we have things that I do on the stream that are dependent on how much I raise on a stream, right? For example, we have reward goals. I put on the Gunner glasses at $50 raised. I put on a vest at $100 raised. But when these are coming in and they're not verifiable, and at any moment someone could charge it back and it seems like a real suspect contribution, how do you judge it? Do you just assume it's real, right? But then they could charge you back later and fuck you over. I'll give you an example. I'll tell you this for now, just an example. A couple weeks ago, there was a stream where a big contribution came in. It was like $55, okay? And because of that contribution, we said, oh, I hit the goal and everything. And after that contribution came in, no more came in that stream. And in fact, it was like over an hour where no one really contributed. I think it was because they said, oh, Phil hit his goal, this is good. Then the fucker charged me back like 2 weeks later. So in reality, that stream I made, like less than half of what it looked like I had made. And this seems to be happening more and more frequently. Okay? So, when contributions come in, all right, I'm going to use some criteria to try to determine whether or not I actually acknowledge and or I count those contributions. For example, if a giant contribution comes in, $100 or more, and it just seems out of the ordinary. It's not someone we recognize. It's a contribution that's not verifiable via, any means. Likely, I'm just gonna freaking refund it. I'm not gonna bother with the nonsense of them trying to charge this thing back later, and now I gotta argue with PayPal and try to convince a credit card company of this or that. Okay. So, we'll see. We'll see moving forward what I have to do. Now, the flip side of this is there's also been a lot of people who've been doing a lot of cheering recently on the streams. Okay? Cheering, unlike tipping, most of the time, not every time, I'm sure there's extenuating circumstances, but most of the time cheering seems to be pretty secure. Meaning if someone cheers your bits, chances are 9 times out of 10, you're going to keep those bits. And in fact, it's actually more than 9 times out of 10. I'd say like 98% of the time, you keep those bits no problem. Okay? Mostly that's because it's when someone buys bits, that's a transaction between that person and Amazon. There's no direct transaction between that person and the streamer. You see what I'm saying? When someone tips me, that's someone directly sending funds to me to support me. Okay? It's crowdfunding. When someone cheers, You buy the bits from Amazon, then you have them in your possession, and you choose to use them however you wish. It's a separate transaction to send bits to somebody. You see what I'm saying? It's completely different than tipping. And because of that, even if someone were to say, oh, I'm going to buy bits from Amazon and I'm going to charge those back because I'm a piece of shit that commits internet fraud, and I think that there's no repercussions for my horrendous illegal actions. Okay? Well, that would be between Amazon and that person. That really wouldn't involve anyone after the fact who that person gave the bits to by cheering. You see? If someone cheers to me, what the hell does I have to do with their fraudulent transaction with Amazon behind the scenes? Nothing. Okay? And that's why I feel that most of the time, these cheers are secure. And I'll give you a perfect example. 2 years ago, we had Tutankhamun, who came on these streams, and for about a month to a month and a half, he went nuts. He cheered like crazy. He gifted subs, and he tipped me. He did all 3 methods of contribution. Then about a month and a half later, lost his mind. Actually, I believe the guy was nuts to begin with. But he lost his mind, started saying stupid shit to me like, I'm a liar and I'm dishonest. I'm like, well, what did I lie and what am I dishonest about? What are you talking about? And then he just stopped responding. And next thing you know, he tried to charge me back for all of the tips. He even said publicly, he said on other channels and stuff, I'm going to take everything back. Every cheer, every sub, every tip, I'm taking it all back. Right? Now, by the way, I don't know if you guys are aware of this. He did this with everyone. He actually went to LTG streams and did the same thing. For like a month, he was super supportive of LTG. Then all of a sudden, he said the same thing and tried to get all the money back. All right? Do you want to know what I think the truth is? I think this was some kid who was using his parents' shit. I'm serious. I think that it was some dumb kid who somehow had access to all of his parents' stuff and was using it for like months to just do all this crap on streams. Just for him to basically, the parents probably found out and were like, what the fuck are you doing? Why do I have, a $5,000 credit card bill this month? Right? So, I definitely think, or it could just be a nutcase who thought that they were like immune to actually having any responsibility to what they were doing, and they had already committed, like premeditated, or planned to commit chargeback fraud. It could have been that too, but you have to think that like an intelligent adult wouldn't do that. You would think maybe it would be like a dumb kid, right? I could be wrong. It could have been just a complete fucking moron. Either way, this guy publicly said he was going to try to get everything back from me. Well, he did charge back over $1,000 in tips, but once I provided the information to PayPal showing the systematic times that he was doing this, the fact that he actually participated in my streams and the stream chat, he didn't have a leg to stand on, and they totally blew this guy apart and said, no, you keep all the money, fuck this guy. They actually said that. They said, fuck this guy. No, they didn't say that. But I kept everything from the tips, okay? As for the cheers and the subs, never ever did I ever hear anything about that. And at that point, I even had a contact at Twitch. And I contacted that person directly, and I was like, just so you know, this is happening, and I'm curious, is there any repercussions? And basically, the guy was like, well, unless, it would be very, very rare, but I'll let you know if I hear anything, and nothing ever came of it. I kept, everything essentially. All right. So that was good. And I was very pleased with that because this fucker, really derailed my streams for about a month and a half and tried to make them his own almost. And if he had basically gotten everything back, that would have been pretty fucked up because number one, obviously I needed that money to pay bills and shit. But also the fact that he had basically taken ownership of my streams for a while. And, if you don't get anything out of it, that would have been pretty messed up. All right. So the point I'm making here is, even people who are malicious, they have malicious intent. It seems like if they cheer or something with gifted subs, usually there's nothing that can be done about it. Once you get it, you get it. And, that positive benefit is going to remain no matter what. Now, this month I got way more cheers than usual. Like, not only is there someone named Overpowered Swaggins. No, Overpowered Boon. I said that because I was thinking Omnipotent Swaggins. The names sound similar. So, Overpowered Boon did 3 giant cheers of 100k bits each. And I don't know who this person is at all. Okay? But that's crazy cool. I mean, that's super helpful. And then on top of that, there have been other people like Dr. Tony Huge, Thorax, the Impula 2099 has been here every day cheering. And I got way more cheers this month than I usually do, which is amazing. So first of all, I should just say, thank everyone who's cheered. I really appreciate that. And that's out of the ordinary. Typically, it's been tips this year. But now people are cheering, and that's cool. Thank you for that. And what I'm hoping is all these cheers stick. I've been checking every day. So far, they have. You know, I haven't heard anything to the contrary. If all these cheers stick, that means next month, when I finally get positive benefit from them, you know, this is going to help tremendously. So, you know, thank you to everyone who's been contributing in any way. But please understand that there's a reason why I'm kind of being skeptical with certain contributions. And if I see any red flags, all right, chances are I will not count that contribution towards the running total for the day. And a lot of the times, I'm just refunding those contributions right away to avoid any annoyance in the future, okay? By the way, today's going to be one of those days because I don't even know what's going on here in regards to a couple contributions that came in that we're going to see in just a minute, okay? So, thank you for all contributions, guys. Remember, at $50 of tips received, I put on the gunner glasses. At 100, we'll do a vest. Last night, we did not hit the vest goal, okay? So there was no vest last night. But we did hit the vest streak, or excuse me, the vest goal, the tips goal, on the earlier stream, and I wore the red vest. Yes, it was the red vest. So that means today, the beige, the blue, the platinum, the gray, and the camo vests will all be eligible today for the stream. So there you go. All right, so someone just made a point. They said, do you think that me saying all this on pre-stream is making it that people will like, oh, I don't want to contribute if it won't count it? It's very simple, all right? If you want to be sure to be counted for the stream, there's some very easy steps you can go through. First of all, actually make a PayPal account. If you actually make a registered PayPal account, chances are that your contribution is going to be legit. Versus, oh, just do the express checkout, sending a tip with a random unsecured credit card with zero personal information. Obviously, that has way more potential for fraud than someone who actually took the time to register a full-fledged PayPal account. If you have a registered PayPal account when you tip me, I'm going to count it pretty much 100% of the time. Okay? Also, if you're someone who I recognize or I know who you are, right, and you tip, obviously I'm going to count that. But also, that's a double-edged sword because there's been someone who's been impersonating stream chatters. And so when they tip, I didn't ask the stream chatters, is this the real person? And a lot of the times people are like, no, it's not me. Someone's impersonating me. Then I know not to count it. Okay? So, that's what I would say. If you're serious about supporting the streams, go a little bit extra mile here. You know what I mean? Put in a little bit of extra effort so that I can trust your contribution. It's true. I don't want someone who actually likes my content to come and do a nice tip, and then I don't count it accidentally. At the same time, you guys, I hope you understand why I have to be skeptical about this, because I'm getting chargebacks literally on a daily basis now. Every day there's a new chargeback at least. And I'm like, I got to be real skeptical about what I'm counting and what I'm not counting because of this. Okay? Fair enough? Now, when it comes to cheering or gifting subs or subbing yourself, that I always count. Because, like I said, it seems like almost every single time that's always counted. So, you know, that's what we'll do. And it's funny, Always Hot Tea says it feels like this is a coordinated detractor attack. Guess what? You're probably right. More than likely, this is the next thing. Because this year, if it's not one thing, it's another. It's not making up conspiracy theories about me to try to ruin my bankruptcy, right? Then it's, you know, false DMCA claims to try to take down my Twitch channel. And false DMCA claims against my fucking Twitter to get rid of all my Twitter banners and shit. So now my Twitter's blank. I can't even put a fucking profile pic up because everyone takes it down with false claims, right? You know, and then it's every little thing, everything possible these fuckers are trying to do to try to basically ruin it. Because here's the thing, everyone knows this year has been great for me. Everyone knows the support has been outstanding on the streams. Everyone knows that viewership is up. People are enjoying the streams more than ever. You know, people are actually coming, unlike how it used to be where 9 times out of 10 people were coming to just make fun of me. There's actually a legit fan base who like what I do. instead of just being cynical dickheads, they've actually come in and watched the content and realized I'm not like people say I am. This has been an incredibly big positive turnaround year for me. For the first time in about, I'd say, 3 to 4 years, not only are people looking at me in a positive light, but I have an actual feeling of positivity for the future. I'm turning my life around for the better. And they can't fucking stand it. They can't stand that I would have any kind of success. They can't stand that I would have any kind of popularity outside of just being made fun of constantly. You know? So because of that, how can, what do we do to get Phil, right? What can we do? So this is the next thing. Oh, let's constantly commit fraud on a daily basis with false credit card stuff, right? It's like, what the fuck? Of all the things, right? Internet trolling is one thing. These people are actually now legitimately risking their lives. They could go to jail for extended periods of time doing this. This is major fraud. This isn't like, a minor slap on the wrist. If you're doing this on a daily basis, false credit card charges, if you're buying stolen credit card numbers off the dark web, you could go to jail for a long time. I don't know what they're thinking. Really, I don't know what they're thinking. Then again, they probably don't fucking think. Normal people don't do this kind of shit, right? Normal people just enjoy stuff for what it is, and they positively support or they ignore. They don't fucking come after, right? This is just another fucking thing that's happening that it is what it is, right? And, whatever. I'll deal with it just like I deal with everything else. We'll get through it. It won't be a big deal in the long run. It'll just end up being, it'll be fine. Don't worry about it. We'll get through it. The thing is, out of all the fake contributions, I know that a lot of these are also real. So, for every fake contribution, there's probably 5 real ones. And therefore, I know that overall, things are going to be okay. It just sucks that the fake ones come in. You know what I mean? So, thank you guys for the support. All right? Sorry that I'm still doing this segment, but every day it's happening. Like, if there's a day when finally no fake shit comes in, then I probably won't have to mention this. But so far, every day there's been fake shit coming in, and every day I've been getting chargebacks, so I figure I need to keep mentioning it, at least in the short term. Okay? All right. Let's do some shout-outs, everyone. So, we start off today with a tip from, actually, Siesta Yan Yugo resubscribed overnight for 10 months. Thank you very much, Siesta Yan Yugo, for the support. Candy Crush Fanatic tipped $1 at the very beginning of the stream and said, please ditch Mafia and play the people's game Candy Crush instead. All right. So because Candy Crush Fanatic has requested this, I am going to cancel the playthrough of Mafia Definitive Edition. Even though I spent money on it, we're canceling it. We're going to go play Candy Crush. How does that sound, everybody? Sound like a good idea? All right, we're doing it. That's the good thing about being a variety streamer like me. I can on the fly change whatever I'm doing, and since one single person on the internet has requested this, I'm dropping the entire playthrough and we're going to go play Candy Crush right now. Okay. Anyway, obviously I'm being facetious. We're not doing that. The Real Spoony One has resubscribed for 2 years. Thank you to Real Spoony One for a 2-year subscription to the channel. Over 2 years of support. Well, now I guess it's exactly 2 years of support. Thank you for that. I appreciate that very much. Noah Taylor is the first cheerer of the day. Did a 50-bit cheer. Said good luck, Phil. Thank you, Noah Taylor. Let's get you up on the leaderboard here. First cheer of the day. Now, immediately I have to be skeptical, guys, because I just did this segment about being skeptical about contributions. 31 minutes ago, someone named Alpine Graphics tipped me $50. Now, they wrote a very lengthy and actually a very positive message. All right, let's listen to what they had to say. I'm enjoying hashtag Mafia Definitive Edition a lot. I wish the open world portion had more to do and they fleshed it out more, but as a one-to-one remake of the original, it's quality. All right, that's actually a really interesting, positive message. It's definitely about the game. Right? So that makes me feel this is a legit tip. Like, you know what I mean? Someone actually took the time to write out something nice. But then I checked the information about it, and it's complete unregistered account, no information provided. It's the same kind of deal like I've told you guys. That makes me skeptical, all right? But, you know, I will say this seems legit. I could be wrong, all right? I could be completely wrong, but I think this is because it was a nice message that was written with it. I think it could be legit. It may be fake. It very well may be fake. All right, but there's no way to really verify. So I'm going to count it, okay? You know, I'm trying to give you guys my line of reasoning here. There's no smoking gun. There's no outright evidence. Like if this guy said, oh, this is a legit tip from a legit fan, and this is evidence that there won't be a chargeback. I'd be like, I don't need, if there's not going to charge back, then I wouldn't need evidence that there's not going to be a chargeback, you idiot. Of course this is fake, right? But it's like, well, I'm gonna count it. It may not be legit. Okay? Now, someone named Cypher also tipped me $20 and said, whenever I eat Skittles or Starburst, I arrange them by color. I cannot for the love of me, or love that all is holy, just pour everything into my mouth. It has to be the same color. Well, here's the thing. I kind of agree with this sentiment. I can't just, if I'm eating Starburst or Skittles, I eat them one by one. That way you get the individual flavors. I agree with this person. I couldn't imagine getting a handful of Skittles, you know, all these different flavors, and throwing it in your mouth at once and trying to eat it, a big mass of different flavors. That actually would be pretty gross to me. Do I actually separate them by color? No, I don't separate them by color. But I do eat them individually, so that way you can taste each individual flavor. Okay? So Cypher, that's a $20 tip. But, again, I look, guess what? Not a verified PayPal account, no information. So it's very possible that I'm counting $70 in tips right now that aren't real. All right? I hope they are. I hope they stick. I hope these are legit fans who want to contribute. But it's very possible they aren't, and there's nothing I could do to figure that out. Okay? Sucks. It really does. But that's just life, I guess. Sometimes you got to do things that are uncertain. Right? So we'll see what happens. What makes a PayPal account verified? To my knowledge, someone just asked that. Funny Mirrors just asked that. To my knowledge, I think what you need to do is, number one, they verify your email. That's number one. So you actually have to have an email address associated with a registered PayPal account. And then, if I remember correctly, what they do is they require you to link a financial institution. And what they'll do is a dummy deposit of like a penny to make sure it works. And then when that happens, you confirm it. And then that's considered a verified PayPal account because it's linked legitimately with not only your contact information, but also a financial institution. Okay? So that's what I'm thinking. You know, if someone goes through all the trouble to do that, that's a legit contribution. Now, not to say that I haven't had people who haven't charged back doing that. They have. But think about how dumb they are because they're actually risking, they have their real life information attached to their account. They're risking a lot committing fraud doing that. So, obviously, that is a lot more safe than someone who just uses Express PayPal checkout. I pump a credit card number in there, right? And I send a tip, and there's literally no verification of that person being who they say they are. You know, there's more risk there, obviously. So, I will say I'm going to count these tips, but they may not be legit. So what I'm going to say is this, guys. Please consider contributing to the stream. Even if you see, oh my God, Phil's doing good today in the tips. Well, these two, $70 may be illegitimate. And I'm just throwing that out there now early because I don't want people to think that, oh, the stream's doing so well. Look at this nice premiere stream doing so well. It's two unverified accounts that did two random tips, and I don't even know if they're legit or not. Okay? All right, now let's continue. Always Hot Tea did 100-bit cheer and said, why do people complain about Fire Emblem? It's been one of my favorite streams of yours. They don't have to watch it. Well, Always Hot Tea, there's two reasons. First of all, I know this for a fact that my main viewing audience, people who will tune in for big new playthroughs, hot AAA releases, etc., They like more fast-paced games. They like games that cause rage. And they like hype. You see? A new release on release day, or a big AAA game, or a fighting game with rage, Dark Souls-esque game with challenge level that's high. That's what they like to watch. Typically, JRPGs are very slow-moving, have tons of plot and or dialogue that's slow-moving. And let's be honest here. Outside of a very few small slew of games, most JRPGs really aren't insanely challenging if you play them a certain way, which I do. I take my time. I do optional content. I level up. Like, look at my Fire Emblem playthrough. I haven't been challenged in combat, legit, probably more than 2-3 times the entire playthrough. Because I played it at a pace where I was always taking advantage of what the game was giving me. And now I basically steamroll the enemies, you see? So, I can understand for those who are looking for a certain kind of stream experience, you're not going to get it from Fire Emblem. And the other factor is, I've been playing Fire Emblem since May. This has been a playthrough almost 6 fucking months, right? So they're tired of it. People want new content. People are upset that certain games aren't getting more play. A lot of people would like to see me play a lot more Fall Guys. A lot of people are mad that it's been over like 2 months now, and I haven't done any Minecraft. I haven't done any Morrowind. And I have no idea when I'm even going back to those games at this point, if ever, right? Because the thing is, those are really fun ongoing playthroughs, but when you have an extended period of time you don't play something, people tend to lose interest. Would anyone even care if I went back to those games at this point? I don't know. So, you know what I mean? I understand why some people may be upset about Fire Emblem. But there is definitely a group of people who enjoy attending the Fire Emblem streams, interacting with me, and having a good time. So, there's that, too. Okay? RPG Fan cheered and said, "Hey, Phil, how's it going?" It's going good, RPG Fan. I'm looking forward to seeing what the original Mafia is like, because I've never played it. So, good to see you, and thank you for the cheer. Pepto Bismol for Life cheered. He said, "Good morning to the King of Hate. I got Animal Crossing Switch Limited Edition thanks to IGN Deals on Twitter. Sorry, I don't mean to promote anything, but I suggest following them on Twitter. It's at IGN Deals. To find out about new consoles as soon as they become available. They'll save you a lot of time, especially when you don't know what stuff gets released." That's cool. That was so. If I remember correctly, that's the special edition that's blue, and it has the leaf emblems kind of etched on it. I saw that when Animal Crossing came out earlier this year. I saw they were selling it. Those things sold out like right away. So that's cool that there's like another wave of them and you managed to get one. That's neat. Dangerous Dave resubscribed for 13 months. And how exciting! Thank you, Dangerous Dave, for 13 months of ongoing support on the channel. I appreciate that. Sweetyman JPEG did a 100-bit cheer. He says, "Is there nothing Streamlabs can do to help you? I recall you left Muxy because people were tipping thousands of dollars with disgusting messages about your wife. Are there any other alternatives to Streamlabs?" Well, Muxy was the absolute worst. Muxy is so dumb. Okay? They actually allowed you to send a tip that wasn't real. You could initiate the transaction and then cancel the transaction before it ever hit a PayPal account, and Muxy would count it. I don't know what they were thinking. That was just asinine. Okay? The thing is, I used Muxy a good amount of time. What was it, like a year and a half? Until finally this exploit was discovered, and I was like, there's no way I can keep using this. This is ridiculous. So, that's when I went to Streamlabs. Now, are there alternatives to Streamlabs? Maybe, but I don't think they're going to help. Because the issue is not Streamlabs. The issue is someone who is issuing a tip. They are initiating a legal transaction with PayPal. And then they are breaking the law by putting in a fake claim with their credit card company or financial institution claiming some issue with the transaction and that they want their money back. That's just, it's a crime. There's a difference between, oh, I abused a piece of technology to get away with it and put troll messages on the screen, versus I legitimately committed a crime to try to troll someone. There's a huge difference between the two. Okay? I don't think there's a single company or app or payment processor or anyone that's going to help with that. If someone's just going to commit crime, there's not much you can do about it besides report them to the authorities. You know? Maybe one day there'll be something, but right now I don't think there's much. Okay? Yeah, Pre-Farrak just said, People charge back everything. People charge back hotels, restaurants, everything. He's right. People charge back every possible fucking thing. And they get away with it. You know? Okay. Always hot teachers, and from now on only accept cash via mail. I don't think that would work. But thanks for the suggestion. I know you're being facetious now too. Rob on Wheels is here. He tipped $5 and said, "Great Fire Emblem stream, dude. I'm looking forward to our trip to Little Hope next month." Yes, first of all, thank you, Rob, for reminding me yesterday to check in on some of the abilities in Fire Emblem. I indeed did, and we were good to go. So that was a good thing, but it's always good to check and double check, right? Thank you for the $5 tip. I too am looking forward to Little Hope quite a lot. It's going to be pretty cool, the fact that it comes out the day before Halloween. We're going to be decked out with spooky stuff here on the stream. I'm going to have, as of next week, we're going to have Halloween decorations set up in my office for October. And so we're going to be having a big build to horror stuff at the end of the month, and I'm excited for Little Hope. I hope it's as good, if not better, than Man of Medan. The first run of Man of Medan was pretty good. Then after that, it kind of lost its effect when really you realize what was going on. So I hope that Little Hope is just as good, if not better, than that first run of Man of Medan. It should be pretty interesting. Baldy, resubscribed for 15 months, and thanks for being one of the few people who are themselves and don't play a character on Twitch. Big ups for 15 months. Yeah, you know, you guys know I'm not fake. When you watch other streamers, there are some, not all of them by far. There's a lot of people who are legit and are great quality streamers who are themselves, and people like them for their real personalities. But there are sadly a lot of people out there that are fake. They milk their audience for a certain kind of behavior or attitude. There are girls who flirt with their audiences just to get fucking contributions, which is ridiculous. There's guys out there that act like cartoon characters. And you know me, I'm me. I'm nobody else. I'm not going to fake anything. I'm not going to act a certain way. I'm just here to play games and enjoy them and hang out with you guys and have fun conversation, period. That's all I'm here for. That's the reason I made the first freaking video I ever made on YouTube 12 years ago, because I enjoyed games. I wanted to share a silly experience with everyone and rage at it, and you know, that's how it all started, and that's how it's going to be forever. Okay? So, thank you for the ongoing support, Baldy. I appreciate that. Sweetie Man JPEG cheered again and said, "I think if we don't hit the vest goal for a stream, all vest cooldown should be refreshed." Well, here's the problem with that, Sweaty Man JPEG. That's not possible. Because of limitations of Twitch, Twitch only allows you to do a poll for 5 items. I can't do a poll for 6, and I own 6 vests. So if we did a vest cooldown, so for example, today if you guys wanted all the vests to be eligible, there's no way we could actually run a poll to do that, because the poll is only good for 5 items. So, it is what it is. Unless they increase the capabilities of Twitch polling, we're kind of stuck. Okay? Golden Colts cheered. He said, "I come to you on the day of Jasper's wedding to make an offer you can't refuse. Please play the game of classic difficulty." Well, first of all, Golden Colts, this is not Godfather. That is a Godfather reference. You have completely missed the mark. And now you will be embarrassed for all eternity for referencing the wrong movie. I would say, because there already is a Godfather game, maybe a reference to, say, Goodfellas or something like that would have made more sense, but it's far too late now. Anyway, I don't know what's going on with the difficulties in this game. I guess we'll see when I boot it up what it says, and I'll go with whatever. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I have to see what it recommends and what's the default and yada yada yada. Lyrius AK just resubscribed for 2 months in a row, 24 total. And he says, "Can't charge back 24 months of support." Thumbs up. That is absolutely correct, Lyrius. You cannot charge back, ongoing subscription support. I appreciate that, Lyrius. Thank you for 2 years. Enjoy your now jewel-encrusted crown that you now have in the stream chat. I really appreciate that very much. And it's good to see you. Ton Colt tipped me $9.99. So thank you to Ton Colt for a $9.99 tip. 99 tip. I appreciate that. Continuing on. FBG Duck cheered. He says, "If it's the detractors, it's really stupid because they risk not getting that money back. It doesn't make sense." Actually, it does, FBG Duck, and here's why. Because originally I agreed with you. It wouldn't have made sense if these were people who were doing registered PayPal accounts and actually linking their legitimate financial institution information. What these people are doing is now, as I told you, they're doing express checkout, which means they just may have a stolen credit card that they bought the information off the internet for pennies on the dollar, and then they go and they use the stolen credit card, and oh well, if it gets charged back, it gets charged back. It doesn't matter because it's a stolen number. You see, they feel that there's no liability for that. In reality, there is. If anyone ever comes after them, that's a felony. That's a serious crime. You will go to jail for that. That's no slap on the wrist when you do shit like that. But they don't think that there's any risk for something over the internet. Much like these idiots who were at one point, they were swatting everybody, right? They were legit just swatting people left and right on the internet. Oh, that's funny. Oh, yeah, it's real funny until someone died because you're a piece of fucking shit and you think there's no liability for anything, right? Well, there is. And it was fucked up. Someone actually died because of a swatting, And that kid, by the way, the kid who did that went to fucking jail. And he deserved it. Okay? Okay. Angelo Bestich, I get worried about detractor attacks. They seem to up the ante. They dox your info. They swatted you. They charge you back. Are you worried someone will show up at your house? No. Here's why. Number one, I live in a private community where there are cameras everywhere, and I have a house alarm system. If any dumb fuck ever showed up here, the moment they step foot on the street uninvited, they've committed a crime because this is a private street. So immediately they can be arrested. Without ever having any interaction with me, I can have them arrested. That's number one. And there's video footage of them stepping foot on the street because there's cameras everywhere. That's number one. Number two, my alarm system is great. If it goes off, the cops show up within 10 minutes. So if any fucker tries to do anything, those motherfuckers are going to jail. So I'm not worried at all. I have zero worry about anyone ever showing up at my house. What I am worried about is that we did have, sometimes we get prowlers and we get stuff like that. And there's nothing you can do about that. That's just, natural. Just living in the United States, you're going to get crime like that. I don't think anyone would ever show up to my house because of who I am. But is there potential that people may one day try to rob the houses here? Yeah. And there's always a worry, but that's why we have security, and cameras. So, no, I'm not too worried about it. Okay. All right. Honest fan cheered. He said, is it wild? People have fake called the police, committed fraud, slander, and trash talk. What's the next? Perjury? Stake out that house, stay safe, Phil. Who knows? Who knows what these idiots do? I have no idea. I mean, wait a minute. They actually did commit perjury. I didn't even think about this. They actually did. They called into my bankruptcy hearing and impersonated someone who worked for Citibank. That call-in hearing is a legal record in a courtroom. That's perjury. They actually did commit perjury. So there you go. Even that wasn't above them. There you go. Tree Trunk tipped $1 and says, how often do you internally contemplate mankind's inevitable mortality? Well, truth of the matter is, if we all just sat here contemplating our own mentality, we probably lose our minds and go insane. Everyone has an inevitable end coming up. And we can all just sit here and dwell on that constantly, or we can enjoy the moment together and the time that we actually have here. Do I think about it every once in a while? Yeah, in fact, there's been a few game playthroughs. I would say the game Soma really hit home with that theme and made me think about that. But, there's times when you have to seriously think about it and prepare for it. At the same time, it can't be the end-all, be-all of human existence waiting for the end. You see what I mean? So, you have to... yes, you should absolutely think about it and not just ignore that fact, but at the same time, don't lose your mind over it, Everyone's faced with it. No one lives forever, as they say. Shino Recruit Cheers says, you probably saved leaving music on for this game. I thought you were going to get copyright claims for 90-year-old music. You say that, but, for example, when I played Fallout 3, that was like 60-year-old music, 70-year-old music maybe, and I got claimed on that. In fact, I get claimed more often for that than anything else. So, chances are I'm probably going to get claimed, but I'm leaving it on anyway. Okay? Legit fan took me $1.30 and said legit tip. Gee, legit fan, thank you for the legit tip. Very legit. Thanks for that. RBG fan cheers says, what if these contributions are real? Sometimes you got to be optimistic. You don't want to burn yourself out by focusing on the negative. And I agree with you. I don't want every single stream to become the skeptic stream. Gee, is someone fucking with me? Is someone really trying to mess with me and send fake tips and screw me over? I don't want every stream to be about that. What I would say is this, guys. Please, if you like the content and you're considering contributing, please contribute regardless of what it says I've already raised on a stream, because sadly these days it may not be correct. Right now, like I said, we've got $70 of tips that are suspect up in that $87 total, right? So you never know what's going to happen. And don't take it for granted. Oh, look, Phil's doing good on this stream. If you like the content, please just support it. All right? And, it's different from the vest streak. A lot of the times with the vest streak, people will be like, oh, all right, let's get that tips going. When it's done, okay, the contributions stop, and that's fine. We'll just wait for the next stream to continue the vest streak. It's not like that anymore. All right? There is no vest streak. So, please consider contributing. And by the way, I should say this too. Tipping is great. Tipping helps in the short term. It helps a lot. But yeah, other methods of contribution are also appreciated. I do have a Patreon. Patreon.com/DarkSidePhil. You get perks for when you pledge to the Patreon. You might want to consider that. A lot of people don't. Cheering and subbing. There's active benefits to that on streams. So please, thanks for everything in advance. I'm not expecting anything. Thanks for anything. And hopefully it all works out and, it's not all fake contributions, right? Let's see here. I lost track of where I am. Sithranax did 100 bit cheers. Howdy ESP. Howdy Sithranax. Welcome to the stream and thank you. Thank you for the contributions. Golden Colts cheers says, I'm going to go get the papers. All right, I don't know what the hell that means, but thank you. Fireball tipped me $8. Thank you to Fireball for an $8 tip. Don't know what that's a reference to, but we are now up to $95 in tips, supposedly. Again, with 70 of those likely being maybe fake. I don't know. Darkside Kenny cheers says, when the camera is on, can you show your soundboard that you use for effects? I've always wondered what it looks like. I can show it right now. It's this stupid little thing. Hold on. It's this stupid little thing. You buy it anywhere. I've seen these everywhere. I've seen them at variety store like Target or those kind of stores. I don't even remember where I got it. I think it was just a random trip to the mall one day and I grabbed it. So it's really silly. Okay. Alrighty then. Cinnamon Toast Crunch has subscribed to the channel. Thank you to Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I appreciate that. Turgid Banana did 100 bit shares. I think Seattle police have been defunded. Arm yourself just in case. I don't live in Seattle. So, as unfortunate as it is with the shit going down in Seattle every single day, my wife and I sit here sad because we're like, man, we like Seattle. And the one time we went there, it wasn't let me put it this way. It wasn't the best. We definitely could have had a better time. Okay? There was some extenuating circumstances that made it that when we visited Seattle, it wasn't great. And we've wanted to go back. And we were planning on maybe going back and haven't been able to go back. And now we don't want to go back. Why would you go to that city when the police are having their hands tied constantly ever trying to stop any kind of crimes? Daily, there's protests / riots in the streets, businesses being destroyed, flames, shootings, Molotov cocktails being tossed. I'm not exaggerating. This has happened this week. It's fucked up. Why would you want to go there? Right? So, until this stuff finally calms down, there is zero chance we're going to Seattle. And I don't know if it ever's going to calm down at this point. I mean, this shit's been going on for months now. How long is it going to ongoing be happening? I have no idea. So I don't know if I ever want to go back to Seattle at this point. So it sucks, but what are you going to do, right? So luckily I don't live there. Thank God. I was just saying to Kat yesterday, I said, thank God we don't live in Seattle. The smartest choice I ever made was moving to a suburb. Because when you move to a suburb, you can go to the major city if you want, but you're not locked into the problems of that major city. You see? If I lived in Seattle right now, I'd be dealing with higher taxes. I'd be dealing with insane amounts of people in a cramped area. Probably the ability, not even have the ability to have a car because you're living in a major city, much like New York City. And now I've been dealing with all this shit. The protests, the violence, the defunding of the police and all that. Holy shit. Who wants to deal with that? Right? Nobody. Anyway, let's continue. Boats tipped me $1. He said, is Ashley McBride related to Danny McBride? And are you going to have Danny play you in the official King of Hate biopic? First of all, I don't know who Ashley McBride is. I've never heard of that person before. I have no idea if she'd be related to Danny McBride. Isn't Danny McBride the comedic actor? I believe. I think he's a comedic actor. Would I have him play me in the King of Hate biopic? The answer is no. As we've talked about multiple times and people just seriously can't remember, Danny DeVito is going to play me because we're basically twins. Danny DeVito. Okay? Spawn Killer tipped $1 and said, I tried to pre-order the PS5 today. I was in line. All of a sudden, GameStop said, oh, out of stock. I was on GameStop's website for an hour. That sucks. I have heard a few stories that people did successfully pre-order PS5s today. One of my fans was so happy, they emailed me. And I congratulated them personally. I was like, well, congrats, man. I hope you enjoy that. So, if you did happen to get a PS5 pre-order today, congrats. No guarantee you'll be going to get it at launch. But then again, most of us who got our pre-orders probably aren't guaranteed to get it at launch either. So, congrats. You're one of the lucky few. Darkside Kenny chooses, what is your favorite saga chapter in your 11-year history? Well, actually, technically now it's 12, because ladies and gentlemen, it's official. I have now been doing this for 12 years. I started in the fall of 2008. My very first gameplay video was Star Wars, The Force Unleashed, Star Destroyer Gameplay Sucks. Right? That was my first gameplay video that I actually put out. And that was early September of 2008. I did not really commemorate the anniversary here on stream. It's 12 years I've been doing this. Of my 12 years of my life. Almost a third of my life. Yikes. Now, what is my favorite saga? You guys are the ones who create the sagas, not me. To me, it's all just my life. Right? I'm happy right now where I am. I am. So this is my favorite time right now. There you go. Sinestro Hairline Cheers. Said, what did John Rambo look like without a hat? Was he bald? That is not for me to say at all. But you guys may not realize this. He did take his hat off on the internet before. There's footage of him without the hat. I don't know why you guys didn't know this, but probably it's because it was on his own channel and in his own content that this happened. And that's probably why you don't remember or you didn't see it. It wasn't ever in my content that he took the hat off. It was in his own content. So, if you want to see, go watch his channel. John Rambo Presents. Right? You should go over there and check out his content. I always supported John's content. Even today, the fact that John turned on me and apparently, hated my guts or whatever. Even today, I say his content was great and you should go check it out. I don't know if he even makes content anymore, but you should go check it out. Because I actually liked his original content that he made. His podcast was always entertaining and informative. His shows like Schnozman, A Hole Punch, where he put his heart and soul into this creative work, was always good. There you go. All right. Let's do some shout-outs for the top cheers of the week so far. In 10th place, Time Seer. In 9th place, RPG Fan 32. In 8th place, Ninstar Room. In 7th place, Shadow the Hedgehog. 6th place is Sweaty Man JPEG. 5th place, Hygienic Streamer Tips. 4th place, Lights for Soul. 3rd place, Thorax the Impula 2099. 2nd place, Dr. Tony Huge. And in 1st place, Overpowered Boone. Thank you all for the very generous cheers this week. Shout out to the top sub gifters of the week. we've got Hygienic Streamer Tips, Targon's Embrace, The Master Programmer, Django Pops, Lunaba, and Ultima Cloud 7, who all gifted a single subscription. And then we got Angelo Bestia, who gifted 2 subs so far this week. So thank you guys for your support there as well. All right. Excuse me. All right, guys. It is now time to take a very brief break. I need to use the restroom. And when I come back from break, it's Mafia Definitive Edition. All right. I'll see you guys in a few minutes. Thanks, and let's get ready.